Hi, Vitalijs. Welcome to Builder's Mind podcast.
Hi, Jahid.
Thanks for coming, for joining. I think I know you for more than 2 years, and I have seen, that how you have gone like through like lots of steps as an entrepreneur. Like you had a team, then you guys like kind of like break the team up, and then you just kind of like we're looking for another co-founder. You found, and then you also changed the idea. So for me, at some point, I was like, okay, when Beatles, will stop working on his idea, and then we'll just go do something else, or maybe he'll just take a break. But to be honest, I was super impressed that you keep working, whether you were alone or like with a partner for just 2 or 3 years. So kind of my question is that how did you find this motivation to stay
Mm,
on track and keep building, no matters what happens to your team or to you,
mhm.
or any kind of also like financial results or whatever? Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Jahid, for this observation. And yeah, I have to stop sometimes and think about it myself and like appreciate the path. And still, there's a lot of things to do for going forward. Uh, First, I want to start with I just realized that the community is everything. I mean, I just realized how much people around helped me through this path, and really the building of the company for me is about the building the community around it and people who help, support, talk, and so on. So I think this is what helps to keep this my motivation afloat. But before I realized that, the thing I defined for myself, like when I parted ways with Localize, is basically I realized that mm, I want to qualitatively change my life. I mean, like reach larger, let's so call capital, like very simple. I define, okay, how much money do I need? And I thought like, okay, something, I want to be a millionaire or something like that. Like I don't have clue, like, and so on. But why do you need those millions and so on? I think, okay, my values really is like to returning back to community. I really love Latvia. I love where I work here, and how I lived here. I have some opportunities to move abroad, and I understand that really I'm very connected to this place. And I think that the goal for me, the end goal for me, when I create this leverage, this capital, is to start returning to community. And for that, I will need to establish some good financial foundations. So basically, and now the practical things. I mean, I just said to myself, okay, I'm 34. At the time when I started, it was like 32 or something. So okay, I when I want to have this financial 45 sounds okay. Like 10 more years, not too like, not too close, not too far away. And okay, how much money? And I say like, okay, I have to be ambitious, like something or something, but it has to be also realistic. And I say, okay, I want to have like multi millions, like several millions, not like tens or something, like several millions. It will be okay. Like, and then okay, what path do I have? And I have two paths really for myself. I mean, I have 20 years in software engineering, leading different teams and so on. So I could just go like some US company or so, or and start working for them, and like getting my salary like 200, 300K, and just and like live for 5, 6 years more and like get some money. But that was not so excited, and really I also felt a little bit burned out from working for other people. And I realized, okay, the second path is really the risky path, and also more exciting path is the entrepreneurship. And at that time I thought that I know something about entrepreneurship, but in reality only now I realize that it's a totally separate set of skills. And so here we are, 2 years, a little bit more later, and still we are figuring it out.
But like what was like what is like I mean like you have been gone through a lot. The founder split, and then like you were alone with yourself, and then you found a different co-founder. Then now you also changed the product. So I mean, were there some moments that you just had a huge self doubt? And what actually, kind of like pushed you towards? Was it community give like kind of a giving back to community, or was there something else that you actually saw that okay, this product is really needed, so I shouldn't give?
Mhm.
Or, yeah.
I think this is like the one thing that characterize me is the control, like self-control, control of environment, control of people, and so on. Basically, I find myself comfortable when I control things, and I'm constantly learn how to live in a more uncontrollable environment. So, which means it was enough for me to make a decision like, okay, I'm going there. This is the path. I don't see any other path right now. And like, I have to do it. I have to learn it to move forward. And and the and another thing I also agreed like with myself, like while I'm moving to that direction and saying that I'll do no matter what, like learn, move, and so on. Other environment and other people and my family and other either will support it, either will start making some blocks. But that will be also a great filter for myself. I mean, either I'm doing what I want, what I love, and move forward, and some people maybe will don't get along with that. Uh, well, or either I just like stop doing that. But then the question back, and I'm back to the square one. Okay, that I will not reach some goals. So yeah, it's quite simple. If you want to reach the goals, you have to work towards it. I like to describe it when I was like VP of engineering. I like to describe you have to take like work of VP. You
Yeah.
have to take some uh, vector of direction. It should be aligned with your company's vision, and the best if your vector is somehow aligned with all other executives, right? But then it's just a rhythm of moving forward, moving forward, moving forward. So I just reminded myself, like, keep the rhythm, move forward, everything else will fall in place. And it looks like it was working, but definitely you pay important, like a huge toll from that. Like you don't get money, you then get so sleep, stress, and so on, uncertainty. But that's the beauty of it. Uh, you become a better human, I believe.
Yeah, like for me, I think is that this uncertainty and uncontrollable situation teach you a lot, and it becomes you so humble, also such a
Hmm.
human being because you have been through the ups and downs. And actually, sometimes like as an entrepreneur, like you go through so many deep down type of things, which actually questions you as a human. That why you're even alive. Like why you're doing whatever you're doing, and the whole philosophy of your life is under question. And then like you start self discovery, but also like you just become so kind of reacting to any other factors. You just are so focused on building, and that's like what becomes or kind of like what makes the difference between great entrepreneurs or kind of like simple entrepreneurs. Because if you are consistent and then you just keep pushing, then you just hit the wall at some point, which is a good wall or kind of like success or whatever.
Hmm.
So it's more about pushing. So that's like something that I respect, like you for
Yeah,
that. I have seen
and
kind of your journey and your path. So, and I'm like, okay, this guy is a strong one.
and then there also this part of kindness, and uh, I mean, well, as more you become entrepreneur, you more see the reality of things. I mean, the financial world of like how do you get can you get results of all the things maybe not always ethical entrepreneurs and other people do just to reach some kind of results. And then you ask yourself, are you ready to be a part of that game? And while you are part of that game, can you still keep the kindness? So this I can maybe ask also you, Jahid, how are you keeping the kindness in this like especially as you've been from the part of investor?
I think kind of like for me, like it's more about understanding the situation, but also like give credits to people and it not kind of like try to, but also kind of like putting myself in their shoe. For example, now that I kind of like transition from the investor to startups, and I see that, for example, being in a startup world is so tough and so like kind of like different. You can have nightmares, you can have dreams, you can have not sleeps during the nights, or like but it's so nice. Well, for me, the main question is that why you're doing this. Is it for the number
Hmm.
games? Is it for success, or you're just addicted to this? And for me, I feel that I'm addicted to this, and I really enjoy it. Even that, like, there's something is like painful, like joyful pain. It's just so painful, but you still enjoy it. It's just like give you
Yeah.
this things. And I think it's more about, kind of like learning and spending time to people, those kind of understand to be not so judgmental. And, like even like when I was investor, I try, kind of to, I mean, maybe I was a bit like judgmental because you don't know what's going on in the startup world and founder mode. But now, like when you're switching the side, you can see that it's very hard actually to sell or kind of like to make anything work, because it's also kind of quite lonely, in the beginning. If it's a big success, everyone comes to you and like cheer you up. But as some like for so many years, it's an unwritten success story. Like it's not yet there, and then like
Yeah.
everyone doubting, everyone kind of like questioning. Even you as a founder, like you're not sure if it's success, is it like successful or
Yeah.
not. So you kind of need some magic. Yeah,
Yeah, the biggest challenge basically is to make story yours. To it's constantly everyone have tried to push your story to direction they think that story should be. And the question is like, even like you get invested, us and Convershake also get invested. And sure, everybody has different opinions of where we have to go and what we should do. And the biggest figure, like, is to find the balance between like, okay, yes, it's like nobody's stupid. Like everybody has their point, and what they and there is truth for all the things what people share, and there's an opportunity to learn.
yeah,
But it's your story, and as I said, if you follow your story, even how stupid it could seem at start, then and you continue building this momentum. I call it like snowball, like putting more snow, more snow, and like you putting it uphill and waiting for the moment when you reach that hill, so it starts rolling around, and you don't need to be so much part of the system. That's another challenge later on. Or when you get to the bottom of the hill, that's another challenge that many entrepreneurs or managers don't understand. And yeah, so. Uh, there's there's a lot of things to think about. So yeah,
yeah, yeah,
and I'm happy, Jahid, that you also like moved aside and
yeah.
got to the startup world, like to start building your own thing. It's
Thank
just I'm always genuinely happy for every person I know who moves to startups. I know that people like some entrepreneurs saying like, don't do that. Like it's so hard and so on. I'm the opposite. I go there because I see is what transformation it makes for you.
Yeah, yeah, true. But I think kind of like this, like despite me like enjoying being an investor back then, but I think kind of like you have to just like try out things, but also I think building is something that it's more addiction. Like once you start doing it, you just enjoy it. It gives you more energy. It gives you, I mean, like you do things in a bigger scale and also like more impactful. So that's something kind of also like respect to other founders. Okay, so like coming to like Convershake, the
Okay.
main of today. So how did you come up with the idea and if you can, shortly pitch what Convershake is, or like what was the initial idea and how it evolved to what it is now.
Yeah. So that's a good story. So basically, we last year uh, we were building AI note taker for businesses, and our main problem, what we like were sharing, maybe it was a little bit, or what we were solving, and maybe this was a little bit too wide, was like, let's destroy data silos inside of organization, B2B organizations. And this is what I saw myself with my co-founder Daniel at that point, that in Localize and other companies we worked on, this is a huge problem. I mean, you have a lot of knowledge, you have a lot of data, but you are not really efficiently using it. And it's even before LLMs came and AI, all this hype started. So yeah, we were working on a AI note taker, and this was like an idea that we known well. We work with that and so on. But we realized at some point that maybe even if the problem still exists, maybe we are a little bit too late with the solution, and it was very hard to find this niche, this angle, how to position ourselves against 100 other AI note takers at that time. Uh, s- yeah, so long story short, we also parted ways with Daniel. So there was some period at which point, and I want to shout out to uh, to first pick a venture fund from Lithuania, one of the best Lithuanian venture funds that I connected with. They helped me, they supported me, both like with consulting me and also helping like at like factually, financially. And yeah, this is through this transition period. And then I was really happy to find my current co-founder, Emil Svavere. So he worked in Miro, and he was top one account executive for enterprise for specific year, for enterprise segment. It means he sold Miro for companies, I believe, 10,000 plus seats. So quite crazy, but yeah, yeah, and I was very happy to have him as a GTM leader. Uh, and we started to like still try to push a little bit of that AI note taker idea, and until this tech chill, which was in 2025, I believe in February or something like that. Uh, and we met with Alex from 20VC. Uh,
Yeah.
and now shout out to Yanis Vavare from TraceSpace. He helped us to get an intro, and that basically that small conversation, like half an hour with the Alex, helped us to understand that our positioning is 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 not like keeping any critique. I mean, it was very kind and very open conversation. But we went basically to lunch with Emils after this conversation. Like, talk to like, man, we have to change everything. And at that point, we realized we took like one, like we thought that we'll be building something else, but we started talking with some connections, and thanks also for our current investors, Outlast Fund and Maria Ruchevska. She introduced us to one of the call centers, contact centers in the region, one of the biggest. We talked to them and we found where we can help. And so from that on, what's it called? The rest is history. But we started to work like weekly, daily, to learn everything about contact center industry, how to help them, what is needed, and so on. And we arrived to the current product, which is a customer experience knowledge management platform.
Mhm.
So that's funny, but we got back to the same problem we started with AI Note Taker. That's data silos and and how to properly organize knowledge to really successfully lead your operations in business. But now specifically for customer experience segment. So I mean like outsourced call centers. So we're building product for uh, call center. I should use the contact centers, because contact centers, not many know the difference, but call centers like more for calls, but contact centers, and when you have several channels, I mean chat channel, call channel, I know voice AI agents, and so on and so on. So yeah, so we are working with the contact centers that have a multi brands, multi language, multi regions. So the hardest of them, they have multi integration and so on. So we play in a field where not many wants to play,
Mhm.
because of the hard, like how hard those solutions are. For example, we worked with this contact center, and it serves like 20 plus different customers in many different industries, starting from outbound supplement selling, and then utility companies and so on. But for us, it's a gold mine. It's a gold mine of learning and choosing verticals and choosing the scaling strategies and choosing and getting the data and working towards and really learning about the industry and how we can help them. It gives us, it's now our problem is not about execution of like product. It's not about like GTM part or something. We really, one of the realization is when we sell, I don't know, to one contact center, we get access to like to many different industries and companies at the same time, which gives us the biggest problems for us right now is basically a choice,
Yep.
is what we vertical and what we use as a leverage.
And kind of like, do you have specific like verticals that like you're like tasting as your kind of main target audience for now, or like are you kind of just kind of testing the water to see what clicks more in terms of customers?
Mhm. At this point, no, definitely we are growing. I mean, we have internal metric. We call it weekly active agents, activated agents, something WAPAs, something like that we call it. So basically, what we measure is we take this YC metric that you have to grow like 7% per week in your main metric. So we like our product should be every week 7% more agents should use. This we're quite early, so it's not too hard at this point to reach that metric, but at the same time it keeps us like checks that we deliver the value. So yeah, answering your question about the vertical, so yeah, we are optimizing right now for learning, but
Mhm.
keeping also this growth because number of seats is tied to our MRR. So but also to delivery, because if we learn, so right now we are serving like inbound projects and we can serve almost any vertical in inbound. I mean, like support cases. Right now, the most interesting for us is also outbound. I mean, when you're selling telemarketing products and so on,
Yeah,
because there we can work with also with revenue generating activities, not
yeah,
only like in inbound we are quite good. We know what we need to do, what we need to improve, and so on. In outbound, we are in learning phase, and there we still need to choose the vertical. But we have several candidates that we are testing.
perfect. I think it will be the best to have a live demo to see how it works, and yeah, we can get some little secrets of the product.
Sure. Let me share.
Nice. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I'll open our demo account and tell you a little bit. 1 second. I am. Um, so the, you can see the familiarities with some systems. I can just call like linear, Notion, and Confluence, and so on and so on. But as I said, the devil is in the details. So our ICP is, as I said, multi-brand outsourced companies or multi-product. I mean, we can serve both outsource call centers, contact centers, and at the same time we can serve in-house teams for such industries as which have like a big 50 plus agents in their support teams. Why? Because at that point your complexity probably has grown to the level where you need such systems as ours. So, for example, here is a product for call centers that is serving 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different customers. Usually, they serve much more. So, this is just an example, and and you keep your knowledge base. So, you what I like to call us even like quality assurance knowledge base, which means you can know the quality of your knowledge base once you work with it. So you import your files, so you can connect to your integrations, to your systems, to your knowledge systems, or different other parts, and you upload and generate your own knowledge, which is basically 3, 4 different types of documents. Uh, this is everything that you expect from a knowledge system with the auditable trace, with this possibility to import, export, and so on and so on. Uh, but the beauty of it, the goal, what's your goal? Your goal is several. So first, it's uh, it's its ability to do with a smaller teams more. I mean, we went through this human agent trainings in call centers. So me and Emils, we were sitting and watching, and that was really crazy. The agents are working like hackers in the Matrix movie or something like that. I mean, they're switching tabs, they're clicking on different things really fast, and they this enormous amount of things they need to do. So first value, what you get is a unification of your knowledge of your multi-brands. You just can switch, you can get, and you can use it for onboarding, create onboarding materials. Everything is one place. So that's simple thing, but it's already a good thing. Second is, yeah, as I mentioned, the faster onboarding materials. You create those and you can use this. And the most important part, you enable when you create your knowledge and you want to create that knowledge for modern AI tools. It means like right now, contact centers and support teams are trying to connect like voice AI agents, are trying to connect like real-time AI and so on, different AI solutions, but a lot of them will fail if you don't have a proper knowledge base. So in case of knowledge base, yes, you can kickstart and start using like asking questions right here. Let's try to ask something like here, for example, what's what are eligibility criteria? Okay, whatever. He helps me to ask the question. Uh, so yeah, here you can see like quite simple, like the answer. It's like a chat GPT. The beauty of it that it's based totally on your knowledge base. It's fully grounded in your knowledge sources. You can always see where it's taking the data, uh, and it also gives you like full understanding like how good it is or not. Then you have also profiles. For example, its default. This is basically like ChatGPT, but if you switch to agent and you can create those profiles, then okay, it's asked in Latvian because I said in agent profile to answer it in Latvian, but still, it basically the first part is what you have to answer to your no, to your customer which called on the line, and the second one is what back office process you have to do. There is no definition of process right now for this specific question, so it doesn't have anything. At the same time, all the questions and answers are kept here in the questions and answers, and our AI shows you basically, even if it's we right now see that it answered what it known, but there is no process as well found. So our AI found that there is some knowledge gap, and like you have to work with that, you have to improve it, and so on. So you can discuss, improve your knowledge base, and so on. So here is also that the next like feature coming is like quality reporting, and you can see the quality assurance of all your knowledge base. So managers are working here and working with the questions that were asked and whether the knowledge base quality really is up to the standards. So let's ask another question. I like to start with what, because it helps me like it helps me with our AI helps like to choose some questions, so we can really, it's based on the like most asked questions and also the questions what you it could be asked um, from other no, from the knowledge base you have. I'll
But then, also, for example, is there a way, for example, imagine that I am a person who works in a contact center, then I receive a call, and customers, asking me the question, and then is there a way that AI or like not like this like knowledge source will actually meanwhile search for that knowledge while I'm talking, so me not typing the question, but it's more like giving me the answers based on AI listening to the call.
Mhm. Yeah, that's a good question, and that's the right question that you expect in a modern time. That the real time is there to serve,
Yeah.
but at the same time, we wanted to build real time quite fast. Even we have prototypes, but we understood the one thing: uh, if you can't serve the good answer, the proper answer, and be sure that I know, like 95% of time, your AI works with your knowledge and answers properly, you don't need real-time AI to serve you a bad answers.
Yeah.
So our focus right now, so yeah, you get like 70-80% of result from a rightfully answered question, and all other from real time. No, not everything from real time, but some percentage from real time, and then so on. So yes, real time is important, but at the same time, real time gives additional set of problems like speech to text on different languages. Yeah, so
But
it's still.
but can I kind of like I was like asking more in a sense that can I do like a real time search on a knowledge based. So for example, like as I'm talking with a customer, then like for example, like Convershake is finding those like kind of answers for me from the knowledge base. So not me typing the question, but like it already giving me the kind of the answers to some questions.
Yeah, this is where we are going.
Okay.
So we will offer our own uh, layer or whatever connection layer real time, which could be like a Chrome extension or integration with contact center as a service platforms such as Genesis or VCC Live. But at the same time, the goal of us is really to help you to
Yep.
get your knowledge in shape and
Yeah.
then connect. You can use our real-time AI services, but at the same time, we will allow you to use uh, other if you want.
Yep.
We see the most value is basically from the that you get all these answers right, and then how you deliver or how you serve it. That's the question of the nature of your operations. Uh, so yeah, and also yeah, last thing that I wanted to show from this quality assurance, you always can flag something like this is incorrect, uh, and this also provides important important gap for your managers, so you can always work with the knowledge. Uh, this is the first step. What we did, we really we cooked the system in I believe in 3 months. The first version was 2 months. Now it's 3 months, and we already deploying it to hundreds of agents. And right now, uh, the next step for us is really to solve this how to call 3-step process. Is basically we will start listening to the calls you already have. So we'll connect to your recordings of call. We will analyze them. We will provide you with. We'll take also your existing knowledge base. We will tell you is there any knowledge gaps, any things you need. So basically, how much of the calls that are really asked during your for no, that are really asked by your customers can be served by your knowledge base, and then provide you tools to improve it. So this is really the why I've mentioned that this is a quality assurance for your knowledge base. This is really where we would like to focus. Does it make sense?
Yeah, yeah. But also, I feel that's like is that this is more kind of important for I think that um, high value ticket size kind of like businesses like call centers or kind of like contact centers. So for example, for me, like calling to the food delivery kind of like call center that might be not really worth it. But for example, for like businesses that they have really high value type of tickets, so for them, just like the knowledge base and also kind of how to serve the customer is so important that they need this thing so just to be more accurate, but also make the customer so happy. Is it correct?
True, true. Like the best implementation, what we see right now is with when you have thousands of calls per month. I mean, some of our implementations right now, like we're looking even at 20 plus k of calls per month,
Yeah.
and then this requires. I'll stop sharing 1 second.
Okay.
So this requires like a different level. So that's why I also mentioned that the biggest problems when you have either multi products that your support team already serves, or either multi languages, the size. So it's like 50 at least agents, like minimum size. But at that point, you already have those problems. Uh, yeah, and multi brands. As an example, outsourced call centers. Yeah. Uh, so yeah, what we're trying to crack is this: we really will be solving the workflow. How? By listening to your calls, by taking what you have in knowledge, allow you to improve continuously your quality of the answers.
Yeah. And how crowded is this space with this like knowledge based call centers?
Yeah, so right now this market is called like customer experience knowledge management. It's estimated by different means from like 2 billions to like 10 billions. But so for whole like this outsourcing market is something like 100 plus billions, but this is not our term. But the niche we are taking, what we are thinking in taking right now, sure, we help like humans, but in reality, we are going for voice AI agents because that's where the segment is growing, and this is where we see the same. There will be the same problems. Right now, by McKinsey report, you read it, this like scandalous 95% of AI deployments fails, and everybody thinks, oh, AI is bad. That's not the right conclusion. The right
Yeah.
conclusion is in details. There is like there's in-house deployments. There's deployments when you have sometimes non-experienced people trying to deploy it. The cloud solutions, the solutions that are point solutions, like ours will be, is have much higher value and much higher implementation success. So, so yeah, what we are seeing that voice AI agent deployments, and also we talk like made the research, quite often fails because everybody like jumps to the, oh, here's a voice AI platform, and they start building. And what they have like build the flow. Okay, I'll build the flow. Oh, here he'll ask the question. I'll answer like this. Okay, like this. But that's not the real life. That's like totally not the real. It could work like with appointment taking. It could work with some like like specific cases, right? Uh, but it's very hard to deploy it for uh, hu- let's human expectations. Let's call it like that, because what we see, like contact centers right now, are deploying the agents who are most similar to their customers.
Hmm.
As for example, if you are selling like vitamins, supplements, you're selling it for like 40 to 60 age group, then you want your agents to be 40 to 60.
Yeah, yeah, the same context. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, and because it will be totally different conversion, and will be totally different like empathy, and so on and so on. So all of these problems nobody mentions when they talk about voice AI agents. It's like, oh yeah, voice agents, yeah, they can talk in Latvian. Cool, all Latvian works with the voice will be like changed. Not true. Not
Yeah,
true.
yeah, that's true. But also, for example, if you allow yourself to kind of be very optimistic about this kind of the space, but also the contact centers. So, how do you see the future of like contact centers in 5, 10 years? Like, do we
Mhm.
really need humans there?
Mhm. Yeah, we heard a lot of different opinions, and as always, there is a lot of different details. I will mention two. So, first, we talked with a lot of owners of contact centers, and quite big ones, multinational, and so on. A lot of them have a very skeptical position about AI, and that it will take at least 5, 10 more years to really, I know, like go of more than 50% to serve. So yeah, so right now voice AI is like point solutions like for specific cases, which is great and so on. Because of many reasons I already mentioned. And but second thing, have you seen those new San Francisco like Silicon hype about like robots and robotics and so on? Every company right now in Silicon Valley is a robotics company. Before it was voice AI agents this year. Now it's robotics. So that's the next hype. Uh, so and you probably, I'm not sure if you've seen it, but a lot of people seen this uh, demo of Neo robot.
Yeah,
Neo, right?
yeah, yeah.
Where there was guy with a VR headset and doing, and when we seen that, we already have some knowledge about it. But when we see that, we said, "Whew, we are safe." What means? It means that uh, even right now, all these taxis like Tesla Autopilot, okay, Tesla Autopilot FSD is still like, yes, it works. It works in like some environments, but still not so much in other. So, but it needed like how many years? 10 years or something like to get even. There is this robot taxi. I forgot the name of the company in San
Meanwhile,
Francisco. Oh, sorry,
yeah,
Venmo. Yeah. And somebody speculate that they use teleoperators to some it's in some like to drive that car at some point, and there is some evidence, but not sure. Like I'm just a messenger.
yeah. So like, you feel that we're a bit far from lots of predictions
Yes, from a
that.
real. So we haven't cracked yet So we haven't cracked yet LLMs, text-based models.
Yeah,
There is still so many problems with them, and there is structural problems with them. And this is text-based only. But for robotics, we
or
need world models,
yeah,
which are even more crazier to know. There is a date. There's a lot of opportunities in data and so on. So Neo is selling their promise that they're delivering next year, and you still see in the marketing materials.
yeah.
Uh, so we talk also with other robots, not just humanoids, with other companies that produce like more like non-humanoid, but for automation, and they're also using all are using teleoperators. So
Okay.
what I say that need for contact centers will even grow at this
Okay.
point. It will restructure. The voice will be restructured. The humans will be restructured. It will be more efficient, 100%. Maybe there will be less humans involved, but the volume will grow.
Yeah. Okay. Just like one off-topic question is that because yeah, like you sound very interesting now. Here is that like, do you think that like we are in AI bubble?
In AI bubble, yeah.
Like, this is kind of like like the question that I can see, but also like McKinsey, that as you mentioned, MIT and other things. So there's a bit
Yeah.
of like lots of huge debates about it's working not, and then of course like the public market reaction, and then the startup valuation, and there are like some crazy pivots of some startups that they have raised a lot, but then now they're changing their ideas. So like, do you because I mean like as a founder who's building, so do you feel that there's a bit of hype or bubble, or you just feel
Mm.
it's normal entry moods for everything now?
Yeah, well, when people ask like, "Is there something bubble?" For me, it sounds like a question. What's the meaning of life?
Yeah.
it's
Exactly.
like it's like you can go to any direction. You can ask, and it's basically you're working with your own fears. When you ask this, if you have fear, then you have some sort of context for it, and then really what I have to do is ask you, what do you mean? Like,
Yeah.
what do you say? What's AI bubble? So do you want to ask more precise question, or do you want me to like just tell my opinion on where the industry is?
Like, but for example, like, do you kind of like believe that lots of these startups that they're being built now, around AI, will they be alive in, for example, two,
Hmm.
3 years, or is it now, for example, the best time to build an AI startup and then not knowing that will all of these things will succeed, or uh, of course, for example, in the startup world, there's like huge success rate of drop, fails, but it's still like you can see that everything is AI. So do you
Hmm.
feel like, yeah,
Okay.
like what's the kind of like the momentum here? Is more bubble
Yeah.
or more like new innovation?
I think every company that starts selling like AI, at some moment realize like what are the limitations of technology,
Yeah.
and and at that point it's not mandatory that they stop selling the dream of like full replacement of humans, automation and so on. I see several trends here. The first, we're still seeing the selling of like AI will replace humans, and this is a quite good hyped article headline that everybody loves like to speculate, because it gives like you a lot of views, clicks, and so on. Uh, so what's I see on the ground? What's reality? So for example, in contact centers, yes, for example, there's a team of like 15 agents that serve some customer. Yes, the pressure is building from the customer that this contact center is serving, and they are trying to lower the number of agents. So it's real, like that there's a smaller number of people, but so we were becoming sort of efficiently with AI, but at the same point, you can't remove the human. So work of labor of human is changing, is becoming more complex, and you still have to work with that. And also in contact centers, there's a high turnover rate. I mean, like from sometimes from 30 to 60%, which means, uh,
Hard
which
job.
means, yeah, it's a hard job. And the best contact center, basically, if you get through this like first 3 months or 4 months, it's not based in research. It's like just my thinking.
Yeah.
Uh, like this part in contact center, then you can work for years. Yes, but either you become the best agent, either you'll break.
Yeah.
So yeah, answer your question. So we are definitely becoming more efficient with AI. So this part is real. Uh, Second, we are not replacing humans fully. And not some use cases points. Yes, yes, yes. But uh, even call like everybody said, like call center jobs could be the first
Yeah.
because of uh, SOPs, like standard procedures, because they define, because the knowledge, and we are also showing the product and saying, "Ha, here's the answer." So the first question, oh, if it can answer, why it's not going? Because it's not so simple, because there is outbound, you sell things,
Mhm.
there's inbound, and sometimes it's mission critical, and so you can't put voice AI there at that point. This is, you still have to do decisions, but at the same time you should become, and also there's a cost efficiency. I mean, call center agent is in Latvia, they get like 1,000 something euros on hand. Sure, if you deploy voice AI agent, cool, but you have to give enormous amount in training and so on. When you're human, in 3 months can serve like 15 projects.
Mhm.
For every like project for voice AI, you need to serve. So then the cost efficiency, like this doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
You don't deploy it. So our solution is also looking at these problems, and basically we also looking how can we change this narrative, how can we show that by following like precise workflow, you can be sure that deployment of voice AI, deployment of real-time AI, whatever, is predictable
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
also cost efficient.
Yeah. So my last part, kind of in the building part, was that it seems kind of like you're the only and the one developer in the team. So how are you building the whole thing on a solo?
Yeah, for we just got our intern also, the first intern. So that's our also Grant. He helps us with a lot of marketing tooling and so on. Uh, the development has changed, and in reality, every day I'm using like typically on average 3 agents at the same time. Like it's a codex, it's a cloud code,
Oh,
and
so
with the 2 3 different models, and sometimes I expand it to 50.
okay.
But for specific, I mean, no, specifically, it's like I launch the swarm of agents when I see that there is a large amount of small tasks that could be done and have a low percentage of like, even if they make mistake, it's not critical. So this is what enables me to do it properly. But still, to do that, you have to have very good basics from product code, product architecture side. It means that all the things you expected from a big team, you have to now serve, even if you are two people, for AI to be successful. All the continuous integrations, developments, quality tests, all the types, and so on. So in reality, when I'm not sure that I can merge something in my code, I stop doing all the things and I start building more quality assurance in my code.
Okay.
And that helps me. So my end goal with the development is to enable myself to launch use Codex Web, use this Cloud Web. Basically, that what we want to connect user requests like through our small filtered small triage, and go straight forward to creating a drafts of changes in code, with me sitting in the end of that pipeline, just reviewing and adjusting the code. And this is not too far away from reality, so we are going there.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah, I think kind of like with AI and like I think lots of developers are like became so productive with that, and I think that this is kind of the time where 2 3 member team can actually build things and kind of they can scale to millions because like if you leverage AI on a proper way, but also if you give them the structure, the kind of the assurance and kind of all the quality type of thing, then it works better. So arriving to our last part where I'm asking random questions and then I would love to have your answers.
Yeah.
So, I mean, in early your journey, like you had experience, with like breaking up with your co-founder. So how your concept about co-founder changed after that, but
hmm
also how your approach changed to finding the right co-founder?
Yeah. I think first I even didn't realize that I needed a co-founder. I mean, I met with the Practica Capital, with Maria Ruchevska, and this was my first meeting with VC people, and I pitched them my idea of making books with AI. So I had technology at that time which nobody had, creating any amount of cohesive books, and selling them to Amazon to Amazon, like to sell it to Kindle. Uh, but I didn't understand anything about, not a lot about business, like how to market and so on. So I just went like, give me money, like I'm doing this stuff, give me money. And they said like, okay, where's your co-founder? I said like, what co-founder? And so on. And they said like, no, okay, we can give a money for solo, but it will be like 5% of cases, or even less. So I realized, okay, I'm not sure. I don't know how to sell properly, and so okay, I need somebody to from selling that's a standpoint. And I reached for most available, uh, like uh, friend that I known, that we already like talk about some ideas just as friends, like just going there here, like talking about like every time, like, oh, we can build this, we can build that. And he was Daniel was from Localize, selling the Localize, so we known each other for some time. So we started, and I called him and like, hey, I need the co-founder. There's some ideas, so let's try to do something and so on. He was very we meet, we talked, and so we started the thing. So basically, I just had some relation. I understood that okay, this could be, but I really haven't done any homework together, or we haven't done homework about, are we good working together, are we, can we, and so on, which later also became a problem for us. How I mentioned, like in reality, we expected different things from each other, and looked at the different things, at how the company should evolve differently. Uh, so with MLs, it was a little bit different. I started looking at values. So and the most important thing for me was, uh, is the person really, does the person like me? Do I like the person? The
Yeah.
first, just like that. Are we exciting about each other when we're talking? Can we do like sessions about ideas and things, uh, and not being overwhelmed, like, or this always becomes to conflict, like can it be constructive? So, and and third, which I realized only now, I haven't evaluated now, can we also really conflict? So at first I was looking like, can we not do so much conflict? Right now, we, like when we evolved, we were like, I see that we also have to challenge ourselves,
A
have to
lot, yeah.
stop ourselves, and still keep those two things that I mentioned about. We still have to like each other, and we still have to be exciting, even if we conflict, or we do. So I that's no specific framework, but that's how I did it.
Yeah, because kind of like for me, I feel that like this co-founder like relationship is like marriage, and I think you spend more time with your co-founder than like your husband or wife at some point, in or for some years. And I think if you don't like each other as a human, but also if you get tired of each other super fast, then that's a something. It's a sign.
Mm-hmm.
Also for me, one of the test thing was like which actually comes to your second point is that can you brainstorm with your co-founder and not be afraid of sharing some ideas? Because I
Mm-hmm.
think it's okay to share, but also for me, like when I talk with my co-founders, like you just have to get this energy, you should all like, just have this hype energy and then kind of crazy energy that you share, and then people start challenging it. Oh, okay, I thought about this, but maybe this is maybe like this is the issue or this one. So I think openly brainstorm, but also challenging each other is kind of like how things can work together in a team setup, but also like the founding team, the co-founders. So yeah, like I do agree with those
Mm-hmm.
points, but I have seen it myself, yeah. And if I feel that I'm closed in brainstorming with someone, then that's a sign that okay, I'm not very open to share my opinions, which you should be with your partner, So it's
100%. Another good test I just remembered is we on second week started to talking about founders agreement.
yeah,
Yeah, we from the second week. Okay, we signed it in 3 months, so we still needed 3 months. But on the second week, we started discussing how it would look like, what we are expecting, how we'll separate roles, because all the things that went as a part of the founders agreement. So it's like marriage certificate, right? And
yeah.
at that, and this is a real challenge. First, do you both agree that you have to have such a document? Second is what parts of the documents you both think are important. What's important for you? What's another? Where do you find the compromise? How do you solve? What type of mechanism you put when you can't solve things, because this will happen.
Um,
And
yeah. I mean, like I respect this approach, but to be honest, for me, this should be the last thing. Kind of like from my
okay, okay, yeah, everybody has their own
yeah,
journey.
because like for example, like you should start building and then kind of just like seeing the momentum first, and like also
Okay.
like match. Because if talk about this agreement and all these things, it's just more like you already feel that you succeeded. So let's talk about the numbers, the equity, whatever. But for me, it's more about okay, man, let's do something together. If it works, we will agree on the terms. Like I mean, of course, not super late, but at some point. But like you should just create this fire between each other, kind of like keep things rolling. But
No, no, 100%. 100. Everything has to have to have its own place. But I'm just mentioned, like for example, you mentioned the equity.
yeah,
It's the first question that you better you decide. And
yeah,
like the best model. I didn't believe that model like before, but now I believe like fully and truthfully also is that you have to split equally at start.
yeah. You should kind of like.
And
Mhm.
because it's just a start, and that's the first question. Are all the people in your team agree with you or not, right?
Yeah,
No, no, I have to have more, I have to have less, and so on. And this is the first, really, you see the first the nature, who wants to dominate, or you really work with a team or so on. So
yeah, yeah. And so like my next question is that you're like working with AI. So what AI has taught you about humans?
what AI has taught me about humans, that's a good question. uh, okay, no, what I think is that it's not like the new thing, but humans are easily manipulated. And you realize it's more and more. Like when you build AI products, you can use this trait to all these hallucination and things and so on, and you can really use it for your own benefit, like commercially, like you sort of do the answers, or you give some sort of like 80% of time good, and sell it. And it's possible, like such companies as Lovable, like all and others, it works in their case because you still expect human to have a input. So I really see that AI excels in drafts, right? So it's even when I was creating the books, I said like, you create the book, but in reality, it's always the draft that the humans should like finish if they want the good final result. So yeah, so I think this is a manipulation. Second thing is the hype and AI such technology. Even the name, even you and me, we're using AI, but what we are thinking, ChatGPT, LLMs. It's a small subset of all what AI means.
Yeah,
And in the reality, like right now, we're building a product. We see that the most value we deliver is before AI. AI is like a sprinkle here, there. We call like ourselves AI native because yes, you think the first like where you put and why. In reality, the most value you'll you build not from LLMs exactly, but when you can convert what LLM did to machine learning models that gives you like 98% of time precise classification on 95%, and then you can sell to your customer where 95% of the time always right.
Yeah,
And this is the real promise, not like LLM. We give you 95% with LLM. It's just
yeah,
not possible.
that's true. Yeah, I agree with that. So my next question is that you have learned a lot building a startup yourself. So what are some of your advices to the first time founders?
Figure out your okay. Even simpler. Uh, if you have an idea, yeah, I see this all around. Like every there's two types of people. Somebody who wants to start startup, but they say, "I don't have an idea. When I'll find one, I'll start." Second type of people, I have an idea, but I don't know what to do.
Like,
Or
like
give me money, or give me this. They think that this is what they need, right? I have an idea now. Next step is this. Oh, I have an advice both for both of these camps. I have an advice. Really, I have to stop giving advice, but I'll give it one last time. uh, is uh, uh, is start with the customer. Choose somebody you want to help. Anybody. Like, don't you have an idea? If that idea have a customer, I know you are you're okay. I don't have any examples, but whatever. So you have an idea. That idea should have a customer, or that's not even business idea. Okay, that customer. So if that so first things, go to that customer and yeah, no, decide for yourself. Are you ready to work for 10 years at least for to help that customer?
9 years suffering.
uh, Maybe 9 years suffering, nobody knows, but 10 years you're helping that person. If your answer is yes, you're like, that's good, that's the first to check. And you're not fooling yourself as well. That's another question. But next, go to that customer and just say, hey, I am here. I have a good GTM skills. I have a good engineering skills. Any skills what you have, I want to help solve your problems. I will work for free. That's what you have to be ready to do. Or if he pays some, yeah, you're happy. But I work for free. I will not work for you. I will be a partner. I will be building my own business. But I will be helping your business to solve the problems. What problems do you have? And then only then, by talking lot and lot, so if he or she agrees to to this, like that, to spend the time to help you and you help them, this is your first like exam, that you tested yourself, that you found somebody that they are ready to work with you. And at that point you can start formulating your idea. And then I propose to you read what is called product discovery. So basically define you what's your KPI, what's your outcome, what first metric you're trying to solve in that business, who are
Mhm.
you helping. If it's a for-profit business, sure. No, even not for-profit, everybody has the metrics. And then go back from that. So you define the KPI, you define, okay, what should happen, like outcomes for that KPI, not outcomes, but for example, how we call, and then the solutions. Only that you come to the solution. Like, so your idea should be formed.
Yeah. So my last question: what do you do on the weekends?
On the weekends, usually on uh, Saturday, I spend just to get like, what the heck just happened? Like, what, oh, wow, what happened this week? Like, okay, I just get my breath back, like spend time with family, and maybe just spend time for myself. And on Sunday, I go for winter swimming.
Okay.
Every Sunday in the mornings, me and my wife, we're going for winter swimming. This is our tradition. And then usually also some family gatherings or something happens. I like to cook a lot, so usually at Sunday I cook something.
Oh man, I'm so jealous. Like you're having fun on the weekends.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, no. Uh, we also agree to, like, with founders, that we are building sustainable business, which means we have to give ourselves a break sometimes.
yeah, that's actually kind of like super important. Like as a founder, you should give yourself time to relax, but also enjoy kind of like like your life so that you enjoy building and also like living. So also at some point it's like all together. So kind of like building is more enjoyment, so you can actually enjoy working. But it was super nice having you, Vitalijs, here. So thanks a lot for your time, and yeah, see you soon in person as well.
I was very happy to talk to you, and I hope something of this will help the next entrepreneurs in Latvia and beyond.
Yeah, thank you so much. Cheers. Bye bye.
Cheers. Bye.